right, so today we are going to be talking about the Mao Shan five-element shamanic kung fu and why this is more than just kung fu forms. It's actually shamanic elemental magic. All right, so this is Mahadeva, the OG Thunder Wizard. And you see over here on the left, we were talking yesterday about the origins of this art, which came from the Mao Shan temple in China. We talked about the origins of that and how here 2,000 years later, we have this really cool practice which gives us the power of lightning, like Dr. Manhattan here. So I talked about that in the previous video and you can go watch that. But today we're going to be talking about the Mao Shan five-element shamanic kung fu and why this is elemental magic. So before I show you another video explaining some of this, Mao Shan is really about channeling. It's incredibly shamanic. The meditations and the practices that you do, whether you're doing kung fu, whether you're doing meditation, whether you're doing qigong, you are connecting yourself directly to the forces of the universe, and you are opening up within you the infinity and the forces of the universe. This is what constitutes it as a, quote, left-hand path, because it's a direct path to power, a direct path to the immortals, to the universe. So let's just get right into it, and I'll explain to you how that works in terms of the kung fu. Let me see, where is that? So I think we've got it right here. Yeah, so I'll talk you through this as we go through it. So this is the Mao Shan Taoist spirit fighting shamanic kung fu forms, and I'm going to break down some of it. So first we start with the wood element. So you actually become wood. Now that practice is actually right there coming from the qigong form that I just gave you, but that is wood. Metal, you actually become metal. So in that form right there, when you strike somebody, the energy goes through them. It feels like metal cutting through them. And the fire element, when you do the fire element, you actually start to feel fire coming through your hands. If you touch somebody, the fire actually burns through into them. The water element is very healing, but as you know, water can also be very destructive. So this is a really amazing form right there that really gives you a connection to feel like you're really connected to the water element. Very healing, but also very powerful. And the earth element, you become earth. You barely touch somebody with that and they can feel the energy going right straight through their feet all the way into the ground. It's also a very powerful shamanic element to work with. So these forms are more than just practicing kung fu. These are ways of connecting to the cosmic forces of the universe. In the higher sets, you actually start working with galaxies, black holes, and your body becomes this repository where you channel the power of the stars and other forces of the universe. This is really when you start getting into some extremely powerful shamanic experiences. Of course, it just looks like a martial art, and indeed it is an extremely powerful martial art, but I'm more interested in the shamanic aspect of it. And of course, you can go to maoshan.thunderwizard.com to get started with that. So let me just explain to you what has been going on. So I put up the link yesterday here, maoshan.thunderwizard.com. And if you want to sign up now, you will save $800 off of the entire video series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be making videos similar to this, but from different angles so that you can really see what I'm doing. And I'm going to be talking you through exactly what to do. I have to do a short footwork set to show you how to stand and your posture and what you need to do with your feet. I'll show you some basic mudras that you're going to need to do to sort of tap into the forces in order to really get these sets working for you, and to get the guidance from the universe to come in, so that the immortals can come in and guide you as you go through the sets. If you've been doing the Qigong practices, you already have experienced that. You know, if you really sit and listen when you do the 90-day, which is at thunderwizard.com, the 90-day lightning Qigong, or you do the immortal Qigong form that I just put up recently, if you really relax, you can feel the energy starts telling your body what to do and where to go. So this is incredibly unique. I've never experienced anything like this. So this is really a shamanic path. This is really a shamanic art. And so the Mao Shan practitioners, whatever it is that they chose to do, whether, you know, on the mountain here, if, you know, like I said, this was like a spiritual university, and you had all kinds of different Taoist practitioners. You had astrologers, you had healers, you had, you know, martial artists, you had meditators, you had people wanting to, you know, anything that you would imagine that you would want to experience at a temple. There were all different kinds of Mao Shan practitioners, but whatever it is that they did, it was a combination of knowledge as well as channeling of the immortals. So you really are, you're not just reading about something and then doing it, or doing some religion where you follow this path and you say this and you do this and blah, blah, blah. You're actually learning the science of it and letting the immortals guide you and teach you. So these forms that you see me doing over here, they're really ways to tap directly into the mind of the immortals. And from doing those forms, you then meditate and allow the universe to teach you, to work with you. And it'll work with you at whatever stage you're at. If you are a teacher like me, then it's going to, you know, bring out those gifts in you. You're going to start to see things in the universe. You know, one of the things that was really powerful for me was when I just recently got into practicing very deeply again. And what I did was I took these forms and I started asking the universe and the ascended masters to show me what makes this art different from all the other arts out there, all the other Taoist martial arts. Why is this thing so unique? And then I was given some knowledge and awareness both in my studies. There was some synchronistic things that happened where I was led to different articles and knowledge about the meridians in the body, and specifically the pericardian meridian. And I found out something really interesting, which was that the pericardian meridian also has a 5-element system within that, which you can tap into just by stimulating different parts of the hand and the arms. And when I reverse engineered these sets, I found out, guess what? Each one of these elements is stimulating that very point. Now, I was never taught this. My teachers never talked about it. I don't even know if the gentleman who channeled these particular sets, you know, these 5-element sets were channeled by a master who just recently passed away a few years ago. And as it turns out, in order to tap into the various elements, you have to know what part of the hand to stimulate. So what's built into these sets, this is the most amazing thing about these sets. It gives me chills and it blows my mind every time I think about it. If you look here, starting with the wood set, here, it's going to come up here in a second. You actually become the wood because the posture is stimulating a point on the hand that triggers a meridian that goes all the way into the pericardium. The metal is a point on the side of the wrist. That's why I put that picture of, let me just stop it there and let me see, can I stop it? So let me just stop that and back up. I want to show you something here. So right there, the reason why I picked that picture for the metal element is because, when I showed you just a piece of it, you're actually stimulating a point here. Now, I didn't know this, but when you first learn the set, it seems really awkward, and you learn how to stimulate literally by hitting with the hand, stimulating a point on the side of the forearm. And that's what you start off with, and then you do other stuff. But once you do that, you just barely tap somebody, and the energy slices through them. You become the metal. And so this takes this combination of knowledge of the meridians as well as an intuitive connection. Now, my teachers never knew any of this. They showed me the forms, and of course they would correct my forms to make sure that my forms were correct. And then people would ask, for instance, how do you get the fire element out? And people would say, do I do this or move this way? And he'd say, no, you just become the fire. Just do the set and then just become the fire. What do you mean become the fire? Do I imagine the fire? No, you just become the fire, meaning you just channel the element. It's that fast. So it's a combination of science, the science of what part of the hand and the body is stimulating first and foremost this pericardium meridian that has the lightning energy that Dr. Manhattan has shown us that he's got. But then to know which particular element you can stimulate in the lightning within the body by focusing on certain parts of the body. And then when you get into the advanced spirit fighting, you can see the movements that I'm making you're actually dealing with the vortexes of the black holes and the galaxies and the stars and the planets, and then you're dealing with a whole other realm of magical power. And so because this is Mao Shan, again, for some of these Mao Shan guys, that's all they would do. They would just do these spirit fighting forms, and that was the gateway to which they became the universe. And they would channel these forces, the forces of the elements, the forces of nature, the forces of stars and the planets, the forces of the gods. This was one way to do it. And if somebody else was working, doing healing or something like that, they might do the immortal qigong form, and that's where you're channeling. By the way, any healers out there, if you want to become a healer, keep doing that awakening the immortals qigong form. Just do that every day, and that's my gift to you. I gave that to you for free on the channel so that you could feel it. I was number one doing it to help people see, because all I've done is talk about these things, and unless you've signed up, you don't know what any of this stuff is. If you haven't done the Celestial Qigong or gone to thunderwizard.com here and signed up for the 90-day, you don't know. You just hear me talking about it and you're like, yeah, but how do I know? Well, I gave you that form. It's a very advanced form, that Awakening the Immortals. So if you think, I don't have enough money to do the 5-element thing and you're all upset, I gave you that very advanced form. Go do that. If you do that, you will literally channel the immortals who want to bring healing and enlightenment. You face the northwest when you do that form, so that you get the power of the immortals who live in the northwest, who are all about the evolution of the human race. So if you just do that form every day, trust me, you will start being downloaded with information first about how to heal yourself. The moves will tap you into opening up the pericardium, the lightning power, the fire, feminine fire element of lightning within the heart, that'll then be opened up into all the rest of your body. And then on top of that, you will be given the power that the immortals will give you to awaken within you how you can heal, how you can evolve, work through your issues. People have already contacted me and told me that they did the form once and they were crying out years of old, garbage, and working through things and be able to understand their place in this world. And so that's how these Mao Shan guys did everything. They did everything like this. And this is why it's a left-hand path. They were so passionate about the universe and about spirit and about connecting, to the universe. This is why, if you've been with me for a while, this is why I am so impatient when people just go off in their head. Those of you who like to do entheogens and smoke weed and you think, I don't understand, what this is all about. Trust me, I do. I don't want anything that gets in the way of this power. I am all about practical, everyday, feeling the power. I don't want to think about it. That's why I can't stand religion. That's why if I think somebody's in their head, I get so annoyed and I say, get out of your head. Stop thinking about it so much. You're overthinking it. I want to feel it. I want a direct connection. I want a relationship with that power. I want that power in me and around me, and I want to be able to transfer it. I want to understand it. It's what I love about this Mao Shan path. It's not, where you just go and sit around and think about it, but at the same time, this is why I'm so grateful that I learned it the way that I did. I learned it the same way that I learned the drumming that I learned. You go train with an African drummer, he's not going to sit there and show you the scales and the beats. If you go to music school in the West, they'll give you like this chart and they'll tell you the beats of 6/8 and 4/4, and you see it. And but you train with the African guys and you say, hey, is that in 6/8 or 4/4? And they go, I don't know, but it sounds like this. And one of my teachers said, in order to understand this drumming, you have to feel it with your blood. You have to listen with your blood. I never forgot that. This path is that way. It's the path of direct connection to the powers of the universe. And then the immortals will give you knowledge and will show you what to do with your body. And you'll feel the energy telling you how to stand, how to breathe, if you're open to it, if you surrender, if you listen to it, and you merge with it. Then it will start telling you what to do and how to function, and you'll have strange dreams and all that kind of stuff. And then you can do what I did, and you can reverse engineer it and look at it and go, oh, that's stimulating that meridian, and that meridian is associated with this, and your mind will get blown. So it's backwards. Normally people figure it out and they study the meridians and they study this and they look at rhythms on the chart, and it's that's how this far apart, and here's the graph for the sound of the music, and and then they put it together and they use their brain to put it together. This is a completely different experience. This is an experience of, it's like trying to figure out love. You fall in love with somebody, you make love to them, you experience them, and it's through that firsthand merging and experience with the other person that you find out who they are. You feel them. And then somebody asks you and you have to think about it. And you go, well, they're kind of like this. That's what this Mao Shan path is. It is a path of passion. It is a path of the heart. It is a path of pure love. And it is the most powerful spiritual practice I have ever experienced. And just like Dr. Manhattan over here, it will completely destroy you and put you back together again. Again, like an intense love relationship. It'll just tear you apart and then pull you back together. And if you are brave enough to experience it, if you're willing to let go of all of your defenses and all of your attachments and connect directly to the universe, and you're ready to hang on for that, that Dr. Manhattan experience and really enjoy that ride, I invite you. If you want to go ahead and get started with this now, you can go here to maoshan.thunderwizard.com. And I have not put the video course up yet. I'm going to begin doing it, but if you sign up for it now, you buy it now, you get $800 off. Once the videos start going up, that price is going to go up. Every time I put up, one of the elements, the price is going to go up. And when I'm finally done uploading all of the 5 elements and all of the other videos associated with it, then we'll go to the full price. And again, if you're looking at it going, oh my God, that's so expensive. Everything that I have, that I've talked about, everything that I've taught, the shamanism that I've taught, my ability to understand and recreate Norse shamanism, to be able to look at the mantra work that I do, to be able to understand yogic postures and breath work and to download the whole breath, all of that stuff, all of it. If you want to know where I got the power to do that, it's from these sets. This is what started it all. Your human body is a capacitor. It is a doorway. This is again why people want to run away from their body. They want to run away from their feelings. They want to escape the matrix. And I'm like, you do not understand. You want to be Dr. Manhattan? You need a physical body to tap into that power. This is the most powerful path I know of in order to do it. Who knows how old it is? But these Mao Shan guys had a corner on an aspect to pure power that to this day is still unrivaled. So for the first time in history, I am revealing these things which have been kept secret, understandably, for a couple thousand years. In the meantime, some people are not going to be able to afford this. I know that. If you are going to do this, if you're planning on doing this in the future, then I need for you to go to thunderwizard.com. I need you to sign up at the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong. I want you to do those morning, noon, and evening practices. We're now on phase 2. I'm going to be rolling out phase 3 while I'm putting together this 5-element thing. And I'm going to require, if you are going to do these sets and you want to continue to work with me, I'm going to require that you are a member, that you're a subscriber of the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong. And that's going to be the portal through which that we continue this work, because now that I'm finally giving these forms out to the public, now you're going to see we're going to need to continue to get together and work. So it'll be a virtual Mao Shan University. Maybe I should call it that, maoshanuniversity.com or something. It's going to be a virtual worldwide Mao Shan University, where I'm going to be teaching you all of the meditations. I'm going to be teaching you things like how to isolate just in the fingers of the hands, how to isolate the forces of the universe, how to be able to know, how to channel these powers so that you can have a direct relationship, how to handle the transformation, because you're going to need a guide. Trust me, you're going to need a guide to help you go through the Dr. Manhattan experience. And we're going to do this together. My goal is to get 1,000 people signed up at the Warrior 90-Day path. If you aren't able right now to do the 5 elements, don't worry about it. Trust me, again, it's a university. Not every professor in the university, not every physics professor knows theology. Not every theologian knows literature. Not every engineer understands poetry. Not every mathematician understands. We're going to be dealing with a bunch of subjects, And if you just do the phases as I'm unveiling to you, and you do, like, again, if you want a purely Mao Shan powerful practice, and you don't have any money for any of this really fancy stuff, do the Immortal Qigong. So don't feel like, I can't afford it right now. On the other side of it, let me now play devil's advocate here. I've already seen somebody said something along, and bear in mind, I'm going to pick apart your language because it tells me something about your mindset. But somebody said, I'm going to hope that I can afford this later. And I said, it's not how this works. The universe doesn't work on hope. The universe responds to commitment and action, not hope. The universe, the matrix, is conscious and aware. Again, to be a human being means that you have the potential to be this. You have the potential to be a God incarnate walking on the planet, or you wouldn't have even qualified to become a human being. So if you're walking around thinking, I'm just this lowly human being, I'm here, I'm being punished, you've got this completely backwards. I know it's challenging. I know it feels that way. But that's what this path is all about. People talk about wanting to break through and overcome and escape the matrix. That's what this path is all about. And so get started at the thunderwizard.com site and sign up at the Warrior 90 Day, and you can make your way to that. And anyway, so obviously you can tell the passion I have, the excitement I have about it. I can honestly say this path, and specifically these sets right here, are the most important thing in my entire life. This is the one thing I've been doing more than anything. I have been doing these sets for now 30 years of my 57 years. I've done these sets more than I've done anything else in my life. And they are the single most important thing to me in the world. They're so powerful and so precious. Again, when you look at the Mao Shan and you go, oh my gosh, that's so expensive, you're going to be getting far more than what you're going to be paying for. And if your experience is even 1/10 of what my experience has been with this, it will be the most important thing you've ever done in your life. It will fuel the rest of your life. That's been my experience, and so this is why I'm deciding to share it. So, again, the nuts and bolts of it are going to be at thunderwizard.com, the Warrior 90 Day Lightning Qigong. Subscribe to that. If you're looking to subscribe this month, if it's toward the end of the month, wait until the beginning of the month, so that you don't have to pay twice, because it charges you, it recharges at the beginning of every month. And you can get started with this right now. And again, if you sign up now before I finish, you'll get up to $800 off. If you don't know where you are in all of this, then just do the Mao Shan Awakening Immortal Qigong form, which I have uploaded just a couple of days ago. If you don't know what else to do, just do that. All right? If you're doing the Warrior 90 Day, I invite you to do that Awakening Immortal set. I'm not telling you, don't have to get into a rigid thing. Do it when you feel like it. But that's really going to empower you. And if you're looking at, you're like, I'm ready to do this thing, here's what I need you to do. I need you to get the Celestial Qigong, if you don't already have it, that you can get at No, actually, I take that back. You can get that, if you go to courses.thunderwizard.com and look for it, you can find it. And I want you to start with that. And then I want you to sign up for the Warrior 90-day Lightning Qigong, which is going to be the ongoing Mao Shan University. And then I want you to sign up for this. And then you'll have all of the most advanced Mao Shan stuff I have to offer. Okay, so I hope that answers everybody's questions, and we're going to be talking about this this coming weekend. If you have any questions, we'll talk more about it. So anyway, that's it. Thanks, guys. Take care of yourself. Be good to yourself, and make sure that you stay safe. All right, I will see you when I see you. Let's see, what am I looking for? I am looking for this. Yeah, looking for that. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.